Hey everyone, welcome back to another video by Camroom 5. Today's video is for O-level environmental chemistry. When we talk about environmental chemistry, we obviously deal with things that involved around us and obviously which might be a harm in the coming times. Here we talk about the fertilizers which we call as NPK fertilizers. We'll talk about what NPK here means. We'll talk about their uses and their harms also. Another thing is plastic pollution. Here we'll be talking about PET, but not in this video, in the next video. So we'll be talking about plastic pollution. Another thing is air pollution. So we'll be talking about some important air pollutants in this particular video. So let's begin. When we talk about fertilizers, in our syllabus we deal with NPK kind of fertilizers. N means nitrogen, P stands for phosphorus, and K stands for potassium. This is the meaning of the phrase NPK. Nitrogen is available in the form of nitrate, phosphorus as phosphates, and potassium as potassium ion. What are their uses? So the fertilizers are obviously important for plant growth. Why are these particular ions important here? Because the nitrate ions will be used by the plant to make amino acids. When the amino acids are produced within the plant makes proteins out of that, and that obviously increases the plant crop yield. The plant will have more protein for itself and obviously for its consumers. The phosphate present in the fertilizer will be absorbed by the plant to make a molecule known as nucleotide. Nucleotides are combined to make plant DNA molecules, and more DNA will allow more plant cell division, so more plant growth. Potassium ion is used by the plant for the plant active transport. So plant cells continuously use potassium ions for active transport and obviously for the opening and closing of the stomata of the plants. At the end of the day, all these ions are important for plant growth. More growth will allow better crops, and when better crops are produced, you can talk about the fact that the public food demand could be met. So public food needs are met, and obviously we can export the food to gain economical benefits. Are there any harms? So like anything, overuse also has harmful effects. Overuse of fertilizers have an effect called as eutrophication. Eutrophication basically means that when the crops are used with over excess fertilizers, so their excess fertilizer might leak, might seep in with river waters, with nearby canals, or with rainwater. As a result, all these fertilizer ions like nitrate and phosphate might go into water bodies. This results in the growth of algae or phytoplankton on the surface of the water bodies. So phytoplankton, or you can simply call them algae. These microorganisms grow on the surface of the water by using the fertilizer ions. When these fertilizer results in the growth of algae, and when these algae dies, a lot of oxygen is used from the water. So dissolved oxygen from the water is used up when the algae dies. When all the oxygen is used up, the fishes can't survive. The turtles, the aquatic organisms can't survive. So they die because of the lack of oxygen. Another issue that happens is that when the phytoplankton is growing, the sunlight is blocked. So the aquatic plants which are under the water, they can't perform photosynthesis because of the sunlight blockage. Now let's talk about air pollution. When we talk about air pollution, let's talk about some important air pollutants like carbon dioxide. It is produced by the combustion from fuel and obviously from vehicles. Carbon dioxide causes global warming, which means it results in climate changing patterns. Because it's a greenhouse gas, so you can expect global temperatures to increase with higher carbon dioxide levels. Carbon monoxide is another air pollutant. It is produced by the incomplete combustion, especially in the vehicles. Carbon monoxide has effects on the respiratory systems of mammals. It causes respiratory issues because carbon monoxide decreases the hemoglobin efficiency. You know, hemoglobin is a protein that combines with the oxygen and helps in oxygen transport. Carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin. So when carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin, oxygen cannot combine. So oxygen cannot combine with hemoglobin, and as a result, our body tissues do not get enough oxygen. Another air pollutant is methane, which is CH4. It is produced by the decomposition of vegetable matter. So vegetable waste from farmlands, it is the main source of methane. Methane is very extreme greenhouse gas. So it has more effect on the global warming, even more than carbon dioxide. Next air pollutant is sulfur dioxide gas, which is produced naturally from the volcanic eruptions. So it's produced from volcanoes, and also it is produced from the fuel that contains sulfur. So there are fuel which contain sulfur, and when we combust them, we produce sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is an acidic oxide, so it causes acid rain in the clouds and in the atmosphere. SO2, when it goes into the moisture, it produces H2SO3, which is sulfurous acid. This sulfurous acid causes acid rain. Another air pollutant which is also acidic in nature is nitrogen dioxide gas. Nitrogen dioxide gas is produced from vehicles and also from lightning. So from lightning, when lightning is happening, what happens is that nitrogen dioxide gas is produced in the clouds, in the atmosphere. It also causes acid rain. Due to the acid rain, obviously there are multiple issues. So whenever you talk about acid rain, you should be ready to mention its consequences. For example, the first consequence is that it harms marble based infrastructure, because marble is made of calcium carbonate and acid will destroy it. Another issue is that it will alter the pH values of water bodies. Water bodies like lakes, ponds, rivers, etc. Another issue is that it can cause skin diseases. You don't have to go into the detail. You can just mention it causes skin diseases and that should suffice. It also harms crops, animals, and obviously when the pH levels of the water are changing, it also harms the aquatic organisms. So in today's video we talked about environmental chemistry issues. In the next video we'll talk about plastic non-degradable pollution. Stay tuned guys. Thanks.